Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. And before us this afternoon is this absolutely gorgeous Ducati Multistrada 1200S. Probably one of the best road going adventure bikes money can buy, and a really lovely looking piece of kit as well. Of course that's subjective and that's my opinion, but I think as sports tourers and adventure bikes go, it's quirky, but it's still a good looking bike. So this Multistrada 1200S is a 2015 plate, one owner from new, and she's covered just 5,500 miles. Absolutely incredible bit of kit, bit of an Aladdin's cave with regards to modern technology and specification, and we'll take you through that in just a moment. First and foremost, just feast your eyes on that very minimalist but lovely classic Ducati red trellis frame and the beautiful paintwork on the bodywork. So first and foremost, I think it's worth introducing the fact that this is the facelift Multistrada. So this is the Generation 2 Multistrada. The first of the 1200s came out in 2010, and this is the facelift with the DVT engine. That's fairly clearly printed there on the cam belt covers on the right hand side, and this model is also noticeable where the upper section and the side fairing stroke deflectors overlap each other. The original ones had a black line running between those panels around there, and you'll also find that on the facelift one we've got a sharper beak and these stretched raked back LED headlamps. So there has been a further enhancement since this bike came to market, and it's now the 1260 Multistrada, but nonetheless, other than a couple of minor tweaks, this is the latest kid on the block. What a tool. Okay, where do we start? We'll start at the front. Good opportunity for some close-ups as well. You can see this is fitted with the Ducati safety pack. So we've got ABS brakes and cornering on ABS, and the S also benefits from the upgraded M50 monoblock radial mounted brake calipers. And as we go around to the other side, forgive the shadow, that's where you can see the ABS ring and the ABS sensor there, which also doubles up as a front wheel speed sensor for the traction control. So this is fitted with the just under 1200cc liquid cooled V-twin, which is fundamentally the same engine that was used in the 1198 Superbike, a slightly sort of detuned or retuned version of it. But this latest incarnation, the DVT, which is Ducati variable timing, means that each of the Desmo mechanically opened and closed valves has variable valve timing, and basically what that offers is an almost infinite adjustment of sort of valve overlap, giving fuel economy when required, and torque and power when required. So really nice system, and actually smooths out a lot of the low RPM V-twin vibes that can bother V-twin engines. It's a beautifully smooth bike to ride, and far faster than a bike of this size has any right to be. So that engine's putting out about 160 brake horsepower, which certainly takes it to you know, the upper echelons of sort of performance adventure bikes. Arguably the KTM 1290 Super Duke takes the crown for that, but rest assured, sports bike riders, you'd have to be pretty nimble to stay in front of one of these on the road. So back to the engine, as I say, just under 1200cc of V-twin, and via the single-sided swing arm and that beautiful open rear wheel there, that's putting that 160 brake horsepower down onto the tarmac, and that's just iconic Ducati, isn't it? Single-sided swing arm and V-twin. So still chain driven, as opposed to some of the bigger bikes that have shaft drive, but I think that probably relates to its sporty credentials. It's definitely, as I say, at the sportier end of the adventure bike market. Okay, so we've spoken about ABS. This bike's also got traction control. It's also got switchable riding modes, of which we have sport, touring, urban and enduro. And via those riding modes, which all offer differing levels of power and power delivery, we've also got the Ducati Skyhook suspension. As you'll see, we've got the electrical connector on the left hand fork leg there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but it gives us an opportunity to show you the rear shock. I mean, look how clean that is. I know we've only done 5,000 miles, but even so, that is as pristine as they come. But basically the Skyhook suspension is semi-active suspension, which offers differing ride heights and differing damping settings for each of those 4 preset switchable riding modes, but is also programmable to the rider's own personal settings. And the Skyhook actually adjusts the suspension as you would do on a manually adjustable suspension, you know, with your clicks on your preload and your rebound. Well, the Multistrada 1200S does that all for you. It gets hundreds of signals per second and is constantly adapting and adjusting the ride according to your riding style, the road conditions, so on and so forth. But I think the beauty of it is you can't actually really feel it doing anything on the road. It just constantly feels planted regardless of what you're doing with it. Now these headlights, as you can see, we've got full LED headlights, and they've actually got a cornering function, so they actually have the facility to just slightly illuminate the road ahead as you're cornering. And whilst we're talking about cornering, the ABS also employs a cornering function. So I've never tried it myself. I'm not entirely sure I'd be brave enough, particularly on a bike that is as valuable as this. But that's the way technology's going, and I guess we should applaud the manufacturers for trying to keep us all safe. So we've also got cruise control. So whilst this is at the sporty end of the market, as you can see on the right hand switch there with resume, on and off and set, got cruise control, so that really underpins the touring credentials of the Multistrada. and we've also got keyless ignition. So the key's actually in my pocket, and all we do is press ignition on, and you'll see on this really nice 5-inch full colour TFT dash that shows us that we're in touring mode. You can see their gear indicator, the mileage in the middle there at 5548, and all the other information that that you could wish for, including Bluetooth. The chances of me getting to the end of this video without forgetting something that this bike's got is very, very high, because the specification is really something else. Okay, so that's us in touring mode, and then as you can see we've got a menu button there. Just press and hold the menu button, and that takes us through urban, enduro, sport, and I've just changed the mode over to sport. And you can actually do that on the road as well. And the only thing you need to do to change the mode is it will actually ask you to close the throttle while it recalibrates. You also see that some of the information that was on the instrument panel for the touring mode has now disappeared. But for each of the modes, it will provide the information that it considers that is most important to you. Really nice sounding standard exhaust as well. In my opinion, no need for a turn the exhaust on one of these. Give it a flip. Turn that off, and as I say, keyless ignition, so no need to fiddle around with the key in the ignition barrel. And in addition to all the other specification we've spoken about, we've also got a track mode, wheelie control. I mean, quite frankly, unless you were riding absolutely ridiculously, this bike has pretty much got it all covered. As you'll see, we've got panniers fitted as well, Ducati genuine panniers. In the interests of integrity, there are the very smallest of blemishes on each of the panniers. You'll see there's a small chip on the colour section there of the left hand pannier, and a couple of other tiny little scuffs there, which are almost impossible to avoid actually on any bike with panniers, but certainly nothing that detracts from a stunning bike, and every bit in the condition that one would expect of such low mileage. But again, just to highlight a couple of very minor marks on the right hand pannier there as well. And finally we come on to service history. As I say, she's a one owner bike from new with 5,500 miles, but she's already had 4 main dealer services at C-Star Ducati in Norfolk. The last one was done just over 500 miles ago, and at the same time we had the Pirelli Angel GT tyres fitted, so she's good to go, wants for nothing. And to summarise, this is a Ducati Multistrada 1200S with Skyhook, one owner from new, 5,500 miles with a full service history, and this bike's available at 11,995. I hope you enjoyed the video.